Today we're talking about a house that is so dramatic, so toxic, so chaotic, that it could practically be its own reality show. Our story begins in November 2019 when Laurie, for reasons I don't understand, moved back into her father John's home. Now, Laurie expected this to be a temporary living situation, but then when the pandemic lockdowns began in March, she lost her full-time job and has been stuck with her father ever since. But just imagine if the home you were moving into looked like this. Overrun with 40 years worth of purchases, possessions, and what most people would just call plain junk. Let's just meet the cast of characters. First, there's Laurie. Now, she's a sharp-tongued, tattooed 22-year-old and a recent convert to Islam. She also admits she is one step away from being a hoarder herself. Then there's Dad, John. Now, John is in denial and believes he has only a very mild case of hoarding, despite the house being in shambles and having a serious case of bed bugs. Yeah, I said bed bugs. And they're not just in the bed. When she showers, she finds bed bugs in her towel. And you know, by the way, there are also 7 dogs and 2 cats. Now, you would think that that would mean that their litter box would be pretty full, but not true, because the dogs and cats use the entire house as their litter box and yard. And that's not all, there's also Billy. So who is Billy, you ask? Well, Billy is Laurie's ex-fiancé, who John moved into his house 3 years ago. It's no wonder Laurie says she's at her breaking point, claiming she'd rather be homeless than live there another minute. Well, then why isn't she?
It is a total nightmare living with my dad because he's a disgusting hoarder. It's like my own personal hell. There's a desk under there. You just can't see it. That's my old dresser. I have a picture of me as a baby, like curled up in one of the drawers. So my bedroom, I can't even use. There's maybe 2 or 3 dressers in here. I can't even get into them. So my clothes are all over the place because I have nowhere to put them. There's another desk here I can't use. Everything back here is junk. TV doesn't even work. You go downstairs in the living room. You can use all the furniture except for the couch. The front room is the organized part of the mess, and the kitchen is a disaster area. The house I grew up in just keeps getting filled up with more and more junk. My dad likes to go to yard sales and like buy stuff that looks interesting or he thinks has some sort of value.
These puzzles at one time were stacked nice. Old stereo and old television.
My ex-fiancé Billy also lives here. My dad's kept him around because he's felt sorry for him, and the kid really has nowhere else to go. Here's the old bedroom, which is Billy's room, which was my childhood bedroom. This closet, I've never been able to use in my entire life, and it's just piled high with The garage itself, it'd just be a place to store junk.
A piece from an old car, one of my first cars I used to own. This is from a 1976 Ford Granada.
There's some like broken speakers, there's a sound system in there, there's a broken freezer, and there's like rotting food in there too. One time my dad was going through the garage and he pulled out the speaker that was sitting in there, and there was a dead like kitten like stuck in the speaker, just mummified. It was really gross. This house also has a bed bug problem. Then I noticed one day there was like a bug on my shoulder, and I swear it was a bed bug. I saw the bed bugs crawling on the downstairs recliners. My dad always sprays his own bed, but they always come back. My dad's been hoarding as long as I can remember. Like, my earliest memories is junk in the house. This has been here for 20 years. My entire life. Every year, the problem just gets worse and worse. The junk accumulates. My dad does refuse to clean up the mess. If my dad doesn't clean up the house, I will find a way to move out, even if it means being homeless.
Hey, if you like that video, click subscribe and ring the bell to get notifications. You will not want to miss what I've got coming up.